Hey guys, I'm back and this time with a canon video. I know I've been promising it, but I've been also waiting for a fix. Luckily, I found the right person on the forums who found a fix, and therefore I'm making these cannons yet again. I'll post his name up in the description. Anyway, so here's my cannon. It was a cannon, and it blew up. Well, hope you enjoyed the video. This is that time display. Anyway, no, uh, this floating mechanism is really difficult to control. Okay, so here's the cannon. It's actually working now. Have the whole button, push trigger, everything action deal. But that's not what the video is about. Although that would be a nice video. I mean, it works, but no, the video is about this monster. I call it the Imperial Avenger Champion Cannon. And it is very incredibly big and incredibly difficult to build. I should know that. I already have a crater of it over there. Anyway, so you have the engine over here. It's actually broken down into several bits. Okay, let's see the whole thing as a whole. Dang, that is one huge cannon. So we start with the engine over here. Then there's a loading bay right over here, which also loads the engine. A control room, fully functional now. You can now reload the engine, fire the engine, and choose which ammo specifically from the magazine you want to fire. Even all three simultaneously. There's a sand clip over here, which aids everything else, and yeah, the rest is pretty much fun. That's all computation, very complicated, very irritating. Let's not get into it. Okay. So we start by going into the door over here. Of course, this is the first section you see. This is for specifically the loading bay and also the computation. It's my D-pad design for reloading the engine. I'll show you how that works in just a second. There's 4 triggers. Well, technically 2, since it's just 2 blocks. But 4 triggers, they all work the same. It's just depending on which ones you're closer to is the one you're going to hit, I guess. I don't know. 3 levers or levers, or however you want to call it. They're over here. They control which clips from the magazine. Oh, look at that. Glass roof, so you can see how much clips you have left. And then engine, fun stuff. Glass view, so now you're protected from arrows. You can take your time spying on everybody. Windows and fun, and stairs, or ladders actually. Ladder that leads to next version of the timing room, where it comes right in and it hits these pistons, where it eventually leads to the magazine. Yes, all of this is controllable. Very difficult to build, might I add. Here's the sand reloading bay, where pretty much the sand goes down every shot, and it's up to somebody to reload the entire sand. Very nice. Also a nice little view in the back. Very nice. And here it is, the top floor, where you are given access to the roofing. Yeah, okay, anyway. You can use this to pretty much just shoot arrows, lob arrows, whatever, have fun. Or spy. You can spy too. Or you can do whatever you want. Anything you believe in. Anyway. So, right now, this is the engine actually, and there's no TNT. You can see already how the mechanism works, kind of, if you understand it. And I'll show you the D-pad design. Now, D-pad design is kind of buggy. I was trying to hope that if you hit all the switches, because this is how it works actually. Let me explain this detail first. Okay, you have 2 switches over here that are related, 2 switches over here that are related. Bottom switch pretty much tells this whole cannon that you only want the bottom rows of the 2 bottom rows of the engine to be filled. Now, the left and the right designate which wing of those rows. So if you hit bottom row and you want the right wing, then exactly that's going to fill up. Of course, you're facing this way, but it's going to be left side, I guess. Not a big deal. You'll figure it out. Anyway, so you can also do the same with this top row, left and right. It'll fill simultaneously. Now the bug is if you put all of them on, which it's supposed to work, but there's this weird bug within the freaking piston, and it just remains open even though it's not powered. So that's really awkward. I don't know how to fix it actually. I spent about several hours trying to fix it. Tried everything I could think of, and nothing was a success so far. I figured out that we can just work around the bug just by avoiding flipping all the switches. So unfortunately, you're going to have to fill one row at a time. I'll give you further information once I fix the bug. But anyway, let's go ahead and start. So let's go ahead and do the whole filling. You only need to push the button 3 times. Now that's also the unique button in the middle here. So pretty much you fill the bottom row and you hit the button, and you're going to hear the whole computation working, and you're going to see that the TNT filled by 1 block, which is nice because now you can control how much TNT you want in the engine. You control distance and you can control angle, all with this mechanism. And you can also see the sand clip working. So we hit it 3 times. We don't need to hit it more. Actually, we could just leave left and right on. This is probably the most time-consuming part, but then again, you're never going to see the front of an engine. How cool is that? Anyway, so now we have a full engine. And we have the 3 switches over here. I believe all of them are set to on. I may want to double check that, but worst case scenario, nothing happens. Anyway, so all 3 of them are on. Let's go ahead and have a party. And they're out of there. Look at that, fully functional. Now you can also control which wings you want to go on too. You can have the left and right, have the middle one off. You can see the sand clip pushing over here. Actually, we'll do that just to prove its functionality here. Alright, like I said, time consuming. But we have another full engine. Yay. So push a button. You can actually see the sand clip push. Fire. It was super lag because my computer sucks. And they're gone. Alright. It's okay, it's going to be a long video. I don't care anyway. Let's see. Now let's go ahead and put this away. I'm sure you're impressed. I am impressed. I was baffled impressed. Anyway, so let's go ahead and look at the computation. We're going to ignore most of it, and we're going to go into this door over here, where it leads to the loading bay. Now, loading bay is very awesome, especially if you have a second player on your crew. Then you can have a captain and then a loader. It's all operated by piston and sand, so it's very, very easy to utilize. Now, one thing I still have to figure out is just how to not make the sand go all the way into the engine, because if it gets too far, you're really going to damage the system and most likely blow up your cannon. I mean, it only takes 1 sand to block the water. So anyway, this is the loading bay, you know. You use it to load. If you want, you can pretend you're on a submarine. This is what I do from time to time. It's very, different. Anyway, so yeah, that's the loading bay. We loaded it, feel proud. Now we can go back over here inside a room. I'm in creative mode, by the way, so ignore every flying move I do. Then we come to the magazine clip, and if you want to reload it, you can take it all the way as far as here. Really, it's not necessary to take it all the way this far, because the loading bay only lasts like about 2 to 3 shots, depending on how much TNT you're using per shot. Now, also it's a 12 TNT cannon, so at most you're using 12 TNT per shot, plus these 3, so go ahead and do the math if you want. I don't really care. But I'm just letting you know that this much TNT may be way too much. You only need probably a few rows. But then again, if you fill it all the way, you don't have to worry about the magazine for a long time. And then you can see the sand clip over here has been used, both by the magazine and by the loader. So to fill it, very easy. You can just click on whatever pretty much. And if that happens, you just destroy the block. And then you could go up here, stand in the front, and envy your own creation. Very nice. Very great feelings. If you want to see it from a distance, I don't know. Let's get a little more angles. I'm very proud of this work, actually. This project took me several days to complete, and probably an extra day more, because I was trying to test the system over here. This is back when the timer was actually outside of the machine. When I remade it, I was just like, alright, I'll just make it like 8 times better. So anyway, so I was just playing around with the machine. It was working actually just fine, but after I loaded the loading bay and then I decided to pull the trigger, something within the loading bay activated. And you saw how much TNT I have in the loading bay, right? Yeah. So if any of these TNT go off for any reason, your entire work will become a crater, especially if you have a full magazine, because you know one TNT is going to launch right up here, and you're just going to end up with more crater. Very depressing day indeed. Anyway, so let's take a look at the damage, survey the area. I've already been firing a few shots here and there, so I don't even know where the TNT lands. Yeah, I could be very sure that something over here exploded for whatever reason. Now, I just have to ask myself what. Yeah, as far as I could tell here, that the TNT exploded right over here and probably hit the water and didn't explode as good as it should. Yeah, that's what happens when you're aiming towards the ocean. You never can find your crater. But yeah, let's go ahead and now it's the sunset, so we'll go ahead and fire one last shot, full round. But yes, also, actually, let's show you this mechanism here, because I do want to prove that it does work. So this is bottom left or bottom right if you're facing this direction. So and we'll make sure it works. And there it is, the TNT all by itself. There's another TNT down there. Now we go to a top row, make sure those work just fine. By the way, I'm not doing any typical procedure. I'm just showing you that you just need to use the D-pad, put some sense into it, and you can actually have it work just fine. Very awesome. Everything works. Hopefully you saw that. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Now you're probably wondering, how good is the accuracy on this cannon? I'll be honest, it goes half and half actually. Half of the time it works, half of the time it doesn't. It's all because of the trigger over here. Fancy trigger, by the way. Oh my god, technology is crazy to wire. Anyway, so when a TNT falls, it's pretty much just going in whatever direction gravity gives it, and that'll determine where it's going to fly. So if it is just off by an unusual different angle than usual, then you're probably going to see a different angle happen when it launches. So that's always something to think about. We'll go ahead and fire only the middle section over here, since we did everything else. I like to keep all these switches up. Up means off. When you do that, nothing is going to happen. Alright, trigger time. And hopefully I can find the crater. I think it hit these trees, if I'm not mistaken. You know, if I say it's not mistaken, it usually should be the trees. Okay, so I don't know where it went as well, but I can surely assure you that it worked. Alright, so that's the cannon. I'm still fine-tuning it actually, because I think you could probably get more distance out of it. I don't know. It really depends on what I do. But yeah, that's it so far. Since the cannons do work now, especially these type of cannons, I can throw in a tutorial now how to make the entire brick-sized Imperial Avenger, whichever one I was on. I think it was the 1010, was it Spew or something? 1010 Spew or 1010 SP, or I really don't recall. Anyway, so I have to work on that. I really need to get back up to date. And yeah, also that other series that I'm going to be posting soon. Looking into it, depends on how my computer is feeling. But it's going to be an I play, you watch. I know there's lots of Let's Plays, but face it, if I'm saying Let's Play, surely you're not going to play. So it's I play, you watch, and we're going to make a bunch of fun stuff. And I'll be playing in legitimate normal mode. Probably like half lighting just for the sake of video and half lighting for the sake of difficulty. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll go ahead and make inventions on that, live life and play legitimately. Hopefully you'll like it. Post a comment, tell me what you think actually about an I play, you watch, if you would watch it or not, at least. If you wouldn't, then you know, why am I bothering? Anyway, so yeah, hopefully you liked this video. I definitely had fun making this cannon. Well, a little bit of fun. I got really angry when this exploded. I mean, I didn't have a backup, so I had to make another one. This one is backed up, so I'm safe. But yeah, anyway, this was really fun to build actually. I love the wiring, I love the whole D-pad design. I made actually a remodel of the whole D-pad design just to show you how complicated it looks. Very fun. If you want, you can pause the video there and you can copy it. I don't know what you'll use it for. I really don't. Anyway, so this is ZirumsHero signing out.